So I could have probably done that a while ago if I'd seen if that was selectable.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years, but then the lock clicks.
Huh, why is that there now but wasn't before?
The machine is dead.
Okay, thanks.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Okay. Let's run our finger across the dust.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's White Deora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
What about the other one? The Franco-Nigerian ball. You want to play that?
No,
Can we fire one of them up?
you can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Ooh. Ooh, are we gonna name a... I think this is one and done. I think we have to try our luck. Because finished thought, like this wasn't something in the room. This was like a rotating thought. So I can't dress for this. We just got to try it.
It's strange that he doesn't like pinball. Kim here is a Zeolite. His people are incredibly dexterous, and they all love pinball. Matter of fact.
Oh no. Oh no. We failed a check and slipped into accidental racism. Okay. Hey, did you guys like invent pinball?
Us? Guys?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Stop.
Volition. Listen. I would see how bad this goes for content purposes on anyone other than Kim. I'm not doing this to Kim. You guys was bad enough. It's time to stop. This is a failure. I'm failing and I'm going to stop failing now.
Okay. I don't like pinball because I had to learn to play it for an undercover job at a pinball ring. And it's a lame, boring, and unchallenging game. There. We can move on now.
Oh. Okay, good.
Super. Tip-top. This went pretty well, all things considered.
All things considered, thank you, Volition. It was. It was a low key flex for sure. Moving on. Oh my god. I appreciate Volition so much for being like,
It's
this is a
always good
bad
to see
idea.
you.
I don't believe you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You don't look surprised.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Mm-hmm.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. Where the cold oceanic expanse lies, and behind it, another world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What is going on?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you'd have us believe, but you're really not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
He is a little fucker.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol. Or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I think that is actually illegal.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
It's not a matter of knowing them, we just need the information.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
When I am king, this savings bank will be the first against the wall.
This was not a joke. Real people lost their jobs. Not just in the C-suite either. Good people. what I did to get to accounting.
She's right. This is not a joke. I'm sorry.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
Well, preventing another one would also be preferable. What happened the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened sounds skeezy, but I do need to know about, like, actually him dying.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me.
Okay.
I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
I don't want her to have to continue, but I do need her to continue.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh.
I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm not gonna say that's a motherfucker.
So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
I don't think it worked out very well for them.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Did you hear a gunshot when it happened?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
but maybe okay. You know what? It probably didn't. Because if they okay, so like discussing the actual positions in play here, the theory that like whoever killed him was actually going for her and just missed, doesn't really hold water. If she's down on the bed and he's in the kneeling position, and the bullet, if I'm correct, entered basically from like the inside of the mouth upwards. Like, I don't know, that angle can work. Like, that's a pretty bad miss, is what I'm saying. That's a very, very, very precision shot in a very particular place from what seems like probably a distance. I don't think it had anything to do with you.
Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Who's Ruby?
Ruby?
Okay, I'm really glad that we weren't supposed to know that. I have a feeling that's probably Titus. Oh. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's probably the girl.
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? The leader, the affiliate.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy boy?
Why not?
All right, let's move on. Very good.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, but I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
What?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood...
Oh.
You know what he does.
This is just visual calculus apologizing for missing the tampering. Kind of curious what the success looks like there, though. All right. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Where is she?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
This is a bad question. Don't ask this. When was the window changed?
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. I told you I'm a horrible girl. I told you things break around me.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
All right, we'll leave that unsaid and let's move on.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke, just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk.
Drama?
Who?
No way!
Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and willow wisps.
I was just gonna run it and then leave and put a point into drama and then put on some different clothes and put the bow tie back on and just try it again with like probably 50-50 odds. But sure, I'll just hit it 8%. Why not? Let's go.
She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Your real name isn't Klaasje Amandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Was the passport also bullshit?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Klaasje Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smit.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smit, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
Where is this buoy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
We'll check that out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here. Past a broken sewage pipe. Right near the waterline.
Okay, real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
I'll just call you Miss Oranje Disco Dancer. I mean, if she's obscuring her identity anyway, I'm not going to go around using her real name.
You can call me whatever you want.
Okay, that's enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next. Ready for the damage. She knows you're grilling her.
I'm not calling her a devil woman. I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
I don't need to push this. Let's pick our battles on this.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
Kim, why have we not arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
Let's change the subject for the time being.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
The game is really, pointing us in the direction of really putting her under the microscope for lying, but and I get it, don't do that, but she clearly has very good reason and self-preservation level motivation for doing that. So I don't feel the need to make a huge deal of it.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Visual calculus. We've been very lenient to worse people for less. Okay.
This window is pristine on the its golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
Looks like missionary to me.
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling. The woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
Thanks, Endurance. Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Damn. Look at point A prime.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions. all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away.
Okay.
This was more than a week ago.
So I'm like 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room? A closer point, like directly underneath, for instance.
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Yeah, also the window wouldn't have broken. Are there any arguments against A Prime, other than the fact that she said she didn't hear a gunshot?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Okay, another point of origin further away.
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Hell yes, can we do that?
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B Prime.
So this is really cool when you get moments like this, because with as much of an awful fuck up as Raphael is, you also get these little snippets of like, he is an outstanding detective. Like these insights are not just like, these are not the types of things that just normal beat cops figure out. This is honed and practiced and learned and natural talent.
B Prime for Boardwalk, B Double Prime for Land's End, and B Triple Prime for the Islet Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
All right, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Land's End?
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
The Islet.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
All that stuff I just said about B Prime.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, We should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Smart.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Blink. Yeah, so the... Oh, it's getting really late. I bet the Hardys are gone. The Hardys are gone. Shit. You know, amidst all the dark humor and the like, I think it's still going on. It only started at like 2200. Oh, hey.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker.
I knew we'd get to use this mailbox for something.
Yes, for sending mail.
You damn
You drop
right.
the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
That's right.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
That's something to do for tomorrow. Today, it's a communist meeting. Maybe. I don't remember what room it is.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
I'm just browsing.
Yes, that's what it is. A quick peek here. A short glance there. It's all quite delectable. You hear someone walking around inside.
Hang on, let me check my... After 2200, we're after 2200. Cape Side Apartments doesn't... Yeah, but there's nobody in there. I mean, that makes the most sense, but like...
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man.
Salute.
Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Like, that made a lot of sense to me too, but... There's not much of a meeting if there's nobody in it. Might be one of the rooms upstairs. Oh, wait, no, that's... No, don't... No, that's the... That's the door to the lady with the dead husband.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security.
Knock?
No one answers.
Let's go. There's nothing to do here for us anymore.
That's, yeah, that's the guy in the Sunday Friend. Oh, wait, no, that's at the dock. These are the Cape Side apartments, right? I'm not even aware of a different set of apartments to even exist.
You hear someone walking around inside. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
I don't think this is going to get me into the communist meeting.
Do I have to open the door? Did you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge. It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Thanks, logic. Oh, wait, I might know where it is. It might be in that coal room where Cindy hangs out. Or, like, up here where it's lit up in red.
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez.
I probably should have let Kim go to sleep.
Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt.
A joint?
The acrid smell of failure.
Close enough.
No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
Why didn't you say the secret door was right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind.
I
You know
shouldn't
how
have
it
said
goes.
anything.
The metal grill is cool to the touch. You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket. He wants so badly to draw his armistice, but he also doesn't want to draw it.
Relax, they're only communists.
Something's not right here. The equation doesn't quite balance. Which is just to say, we should be prepared for any eventuality.
Let's try to listen.
You can make out at least two separate voices. Two voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
I don't like the sound of that. Knock, knock.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent. A pair of frightened hares cowering in some dark crevice of their burrow.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
Are you all communists? I'm looking for some communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
This one. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? It's not a router.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
Alright. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Cool.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
I didn't like the sound of that at all. Right the hell now.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
These look a little like card castles.
Matchboxes, it appears.
Oh. No.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
Careful, careful.
Failure.
Damn, hardly any difference. You two, you are late.
We're literally not.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Oh. No, that's actually true.
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than someone his age should bear. Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth. Just a moment. Could this be the former owner of a certain jacket you acquired recently?
Before we move on, do you recognize this jacket?
Esteban, isn't that your jacket?
It certainly looks like my jacket, Alexis. Where did you get that, gendarme?
I found it in a room.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. That's real Sarah Mauritian twill. Only old Sarah Mauritian communists and drug smugglers wear those anymore.
He is neither of those, of course. He is simply a poor student putting on airs. Also, he doesn't have the shoulders to fill out such a jacket.
See, Uli? It's just like Mazovrot. How does it go again?
Those committed to the rights of property are those most apt to violate them.
I assumed it was Maurice who broke into my room to play a trick on me. I didn't think I'd actually been raided by the RCM.
So do you want your jacket back?
Absolutely not. You have to keep it. Can you imagine the look on Maurice's face when he finds out the RCM has been kicking my door down?
Oh, this is bragging rights now.
He'll shit himself. Positively.
And now they've shown up in force to break up our meeting.
He loves it.
Something tells me these young men are not very experienced with law enforcement.
We're not here to break up your meeting. We want to join your meeting.
The RCM wants to join us?
No, just this one.
My partner, of course, is acting in a strictly personal capacity, not as an official representative of the RCM.
Interesting. Does that mean you've done the reading?
I've done very little reading.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.
No one mentioned any reading.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
Maybe they can explain themselves.
What exactly are you two doing here?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinaise.
Comrade Esteban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club.
Okay, because I was just about to do that. I was literally thinking it. You were all thinking it.
Yawn. Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of Beano clods yanking each other's knobs?
Yes. Is this where I can square off in theory combat?
We have been known to get into some spirited debates. but it's always in service of our larger intellectual and ideological project.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
I didn't realize they taught radical Mazovian theory in the universities.
As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Post-attendance.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Reversol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides.
Can we arrest these kids for truancy? No! Especially not if they're in college. Are they in college? What do you actually read?
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
For some reason, the word plasm catches in your ear like a piece of old wax. Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
Listen, this is important. But if our mind did wander, what would it wander to?
Your attention detaches. The voices of the young men fade away. It's a cool evening, you notice. Out beyond the dull chatter, you catch the sound of a distant seabird, and of course, the sound of the large stretches of canvas that cover the missing sections of wall. It reminds you of something, but you can't think of what. Oh well. Let's see if the students are still going.
We missed a roll of 8.
And before that, there was Abelard's Impé Infernal.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignaz Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Who were those?
You're not familiar with them? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, Gendarme.
But who's Ignaz Nilsson?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Those words again. You've got to find out what this inframaterialist stuff is all about.
I'm trying to, but I'm failing encyclopedia checks left and right.
Whatever it is, one thing's perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them you're one of them. The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Did this reading group have anything to do with the lynching? This is reaching like Commander Shepard Mass Effect 2 levels of like, what can you tell me about the Reapers? What were you doing with the matchboxes?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
They're not there anymore, but it's fine.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
You said I was late.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
Where's the rest of the reading group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
So there's just 2 of you.
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Ah.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
Okay, but what happened?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
I like a good novel now and then.
Oh, sure. But you can always join a book club if that's what you're into.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We've tried recruiting
say
new
it.
members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialism.
No, don't say it.
These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
I'm sorry, turnips?
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Turnips.
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
Uh-huh.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Wow. Sure.
Wow, a real intellectual, it sounds like.
Right. So a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said... What were his exact words, Ulexis?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
And this was controversial somehow?
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
Okay, now I really need to know what this theory is.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
What does this say about turnips?
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Maurice somehow has the gall to deny.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
Oh no, this is sad.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
So you expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips?
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
What's so bad about the Godwaldians?
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Godwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
Oh, okay.